Hello and welcome everyone. I'm your science teacher Himlata Chandolia. Students, I hope everybody is fine. Today we are going to complete chapter number 12 of class 8 science, that is friction. We already had discussed this chapter in our previous videos. Today we are going to solve the question answers of this chapter which are given in our textbook. Okay, so let's begin today's session with question number 1. And question 1 is fill in the blanks, easy one. Read all the options carefully, all the statements carefully and try to fill the correct one. Okay, first one is friction opposes the dash between the surfaces in contact with each other. Yes, किसको oppose करता है? Friction opposes the motion. Fill here motion. Now again read the statement after filling the blank. Friction opposes the motion between the surfaces in contact with each other. Is it clear? Next one. Friction depends on the dash of surfaces. किस पे depend करता है? It depends on the nature of the surfaces. Okay. Third one. Friction produces. Yes. What produces friction? Yes, it produces heat. Fine class 8. Next one. Sprinkling of powder on carom board. जब हम कैरम बोर्ड खेलते हैं तो हम पाउडर स्प्रे करते हैं ना, उसके बाद हमारी जो कैरम बोर्ड की गाटियाँ हैं कितनी स्मूथली जाती हैं. तो ये क्या करता है फ्रिक्शन को? It reduces the friction. So fill here reduces. Fine. Next one. Sliding friction is dash than the static friction. Yes, sliding friction is less than the static. So fill here less. I hope all the fill in the blanks are clear to everybody. Move to the next question class, and next question is 4 children were asked to arrange forces due to rolling, static, sliding frictions in descending order. Remember, you have to arrange them in descending order. Their arrangements are given below. Choose the correct arrangement. आपको correct arrangement को choose करना है. First one is rolling, static, sliding. In B option, rolling, sliding, static. In third, static, sliding, rolling. And the last one is sliding, static and rolling. Which one is correct in the given 4 options? आपको इनको descending order में arrange करना है. So, what is the answer class 8th? Answer is option C, that is static, sliding and rolling. And why this answer is correct, why we opt the option number C, static, sliding and rolling? Because friction comes into play when irregularities present in the surfaces of 2 objects which are in contact, they get interlocked with each other. We already had learned in our videos, isn't it? Static friction comes into play when we try to move an object which is at rest. ये सब बच्चों को clear है? Sliding friction comes into play when an object slides over the surface of another object. That I already had told you in videos. Okay. अब बात आती है, in sliding friction the time given for interlocking is very small. बिल्कुल. Hence interlocking is not so strong. Is it clear everybody? Further, students, you have to remember that less force is required to overcome this interlocking. Because of this, reason the sliding friction is less than the static friction. ये सब चीज़ें हमने हमारे वीडियोस में पढ़ रखी हैं, isn't it? Similarly, the area of the contact in this case of the rolling is smallest as compared to static or sliding friction. Is that clear? This area of contact changes gradually because of rolling. ठीक है, आपका रोलिंग करता हुआ कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट है, इसका जो कॉन्टैक्ट है इट इज ग्रेजुअली चेंजेस, हैंस रोलिंग फ्रिक्शन इज लेसर देन बोथ स्टैटिक एंड स्लाइडिंग फ्रिक्शन. तो हमारा ऑप्शन नंबर सी, द करेक्ट सीक्वेंस इज स्टैटिक, स्टैटिक के बाद स्लाइडिंग, स्लाइडिंग के बाद रोलिंग. Answer is clear to everybody. Why we choose the option C is the correct one. Okay, explanation is also given here. Okay, move to the next question class, and next question is Alida runs her toy car on dry marble floor. Okay, wet marble floor, newspaper and towel spread on the floor. ठीक है, हमारे पास क्या क्या हो गया? Dry marble floor, wet marble floor, newspaper, towel spread over the wall. Okay, the force of friction acting on the car on the different surfaces in increasing order. Here the question is asking you, you have to arrange the different surfaces, the force of friction on different surfaces according to the increasing order. अब हमारे पास हमेशा की तरह कितने ऑप्शंस हैं? 4 ABCD. Fine. Let's read the one. Wet marble floor. After that, dry marble floor, newspaper, towel. Okay. Next, newspaper, towel, dry marble floor, wet marble floor, towel, newspaper, dry marble floor, wet marble floor, wet marble floor, dry marble floor, towel and newspaper. You have to choose among all these 4. तो कौन सा choose करेंगे? Which one is the correct? And the question is asking you the increasing order, the force of friction that is acting on the car on the different surfaces. So the answer is A, that is wet marble floor, dry marble floor, newspaper and towel. Is that clear everybody? अब सिंपल सी बात है, इसका रीज़न भी मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन कर देती हूँ, दैट आई ऑलरेडी हैड मेंशन हियर ऑन द स्क्रीन. देखो बच्चा, फोर्स ऑफ फ्रिक्शन ऑलवेज डिपेंड अपॉन द नेचर ऑफ द surface that we just fill in the blanks, isn't it? So the rougher the surface, the more is the friction between the surfaces in contact and vice versa. Is that clear? And that's why we chosen the option 1. Students, further we can say that roughness present in the given surfaces can be arranged in ascending order as wet, then dry, then newspaper and then towel. सबसे कम कहाँ है? हमें increasing में डालना है. सबसे कम है wet. After that on the dry. After that newspaper. और उसके बाद that is on towel. So this is the increasing order, ascending order. Fine. Hence the correct sequence of these surfaces when arranged according to the increase in the force of friction acting on the car is wet, dry, newspaper and towel. Is that clear everybody? Fine. So move to the next question class, and next question is question number 4. Suppose your writing desk is tilted a little. A book capped on it starts sliding down. Show the direction of the frictional force acting on it. This question is very easy and we know that कि जो हमारा frictional force है वो किस direction में लगेगा. This is your desk. It is tilted a little bit. Fine. So the object, either it is a book or something else, it will slide downward. अब आपसे पूछा ये है कि इस पे जो frictional force लगेगा उसका direction क्या होगा? We know that the frictional force applied will be upward direction, isn't it? So students, when a book slides on the writing desk, a frictional force act between the book and the surface of the desk. The direction of the frictional force on the book is opposite to the direction of its motion, and it acts upward direction. It is shown in the figure. Have a look here, student. This is the desk. Fine. This is the desk. Okay. And here this is your book. अब बुक क्या कर रही है? स्लाइड कर रही है. इट इज मूविंग डाउनवर्ड. और हमें पता है कि फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स हमेशा एक मूविंग ऑब्जेक्ट के मोशन के अगेंस्ट में लगता है. सो इट विल बी अप्लाइड इन अपवर्ड डायरेक्शन. इज दैट क्लियर एवरीबॉडी? It is easy one. Move to the next question, class. And next question is, you spill a bucket of soapy water on marble floor accidentally. बहुत बड़ा एक्सीडेंट हो जाएगा. आपकी मार्बल की फ्लोर है और उस पर आपसे गलती से सोपी वाटर, साबुन का पानी फैल गया है. Would it make easier to move difficult or more difficult for you to walk on the floor? And why? Yes, it is difficult for us to walk on the marble floor which is having the soapy water. Why? Let's understand why. Okay, we are able to walk because the friction present between our feet and the ground. This is the general reason कि हम चल कैसे पाते हैं. In order to walk, we pushes the ground in the backward direction with our feet. Okay, the force of friction pushes it in the forward direction and allows us to walk. ठीक है, ये सिंपल सा कंसेप्ट हो गया कि हम कैसे चल पाते हैं. अब बच्चा पार्टी, हमारा सिचुएशन क्या है कि हमारा मार्बल का फ्लोर है और उस पर गलती से हमसे सोपी वाटर फैल गया है. अब उस सोपी वाटर वाले मार्बल फ्लोर पे क्या हमारे लिए चलना आसान है? इज इट ईजी? नो, इट इज़ मोर डिफिकल्ट. वाई इट इज़ मोर डिफिकल्ट? द फोर्स ऑफ फ्रिक्शन बिटवीन द ग्राउंड and the feet decreases when there is soapy water spilled on the floor. Hence it become difficult to walk on the floor of that is having the soapy water. Is that clear everybody? Fine. इसीलिए हम किसी फर्श पे अगर साबुन का पानी फैला हुआ है, स्पेशली ऑन द मार्बल फ्लोर, हमारे लिए चलना डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है. फाइन. Move to the next question, class, and next question is that explain why sportsmen use shoes with spikes. Yes, हमारे जो मैक्सिमम स्पोर्ट्समैन होते हैं, अगर आपने उनके शूज़ देखे हों तो उनके जूतों में नीचे है ना स्पाइक्स होते हैं. क्यों होते हैं उनके शूज़ में स्पाइक्स? बच्चा, the sportsman uses the shoes with the spikes because these shoes give them a better grip while running. Okay, this is because the force of the friction between the shoes and the ground increases with the help of spikes. It's an easy one. इसीलिए हम घर में हमेशा कहते हैं ऐसे जितने भी आपके फुटवियर्स हैं जिनके सोल प्लेन हो गए हैं उनको यूज़ ना करें. समझ में आ रहा है? अगर हम गलती से अगर किसी ऐसी फ्लोर पे चले जिस पे पानी फैला हुआ है तो हम स्लिप हो सकते हैं, हम चले ही नहीं पाते हैं और हम एक्सीडेंटली स्लिप हो जाते हैं. Isn't it? Move to the next question, class, and next question is, Iqbal has to push a lighter box and Seema has to push a similar heavier box on the same floor. Okay, who will have to apply a large force and why? It's again the easy one. The force of friction arises because of interlocking of irregularities on the two surfaces in contact. This is the important line जो हमें बार बार पढ़नी है, बार बार लिखनी है, ठीक है. When a heavy object is placed on the floor, the interlocking of the irregularities on the surface of the box and floor becomes strong. क्योंकि वजन ज़्यादा है, heavy है, ठीक है. This is because the two surfaces in contact are pressed harder. ठीक है, जोर से ज़्यादा pressure है. Hence, more force is required to overcome the interlocking. Thus, to push the heavier box, Seema has to apply a greater force than Iqbal. समझ में आ गया. सीमा को ज़्यादा फोर्स अप्लाई, सीमा को ज़्यादा मतलब ज़्यादा मैग्नीट्यूड वाला फोर्स लगाना पड़ेगा टू मूव दैट बॉक्स. अब फ्लोर तो दोनों के लिए सेम है, इकबाल के लिए भी और सीमा के लिए भी, लेकिन इकबाल के बॉक्स का वज़न क्या है, कम है, और सीमा के बॉक्स का वज़न क्या है, तो ज़्यादा है. इट्स सिंपल, अंडरस्टूड. मूव टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन क्लास, एंड नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज एक्सप्लेन व्हाई स्लाइडिंग फ्रिक्शन इज लेस दैन स्टैटिक फ्रिक्शन. अगेन अ वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन क्लास 8th, and it's easy for you also to answer it. Friction comes into play when irregularities present in the surface of two objects in contact get interlocked with each other. Again the same line, okay. In sliding, the time given for the interlocking is very small. This one is the important line that you always have to remember. जब भी कोई ऑब्जेक्ट स्लाइडिंग कंडीशन में है तो उनके इंटरलॉकिंग का जो समय है वो क्या होता है, कम होता है. Hence, interlocking is not so strong, okay. Therefore, less force is required to overcome this interlocking. Because of this reason, sliding friction is less than static friction. Is that clear, everybody? Move to the next question class, and next question, give examples to show that friction is both a friend and a foe. Yes, ये हमारे लिए एक फ्रेंड भी है और एक एनिमी भी है, ठीक है. हमने फ्रेंड एंड फो द माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म वाला चैप्टर पढ़ा है ना. इसका मतलब इनके कुछ एडवांटेजेस भी हैं, एडवांटेजेस के साथ साथ डिसएडवांटेजेस भी हैं, ओके. सो फर्स्ट वी विल डिस्कस द एडवांटेजेस ऑफ द friction. We are able to walk because of friction. This one is the easiest one and the important one. Friction between the tips of the pen and the paper allows us to write, and instead of these two you can write many more examples. Fine. And what are the disadvantages? Tires and soles of shoes wear out because of friction. Yes. फाइन, मैंने अभी जस्ट थोड़ी देर पहले ही आपको बताया. सेकेंड वन, फ्रिक्शन बिटवीन द डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ द मशीन्स प्रोड्यूसेस हीट. दिस कैन डैमेज द मशीन्स एंड दिस इज द डिसएडवांटेज ऑफ फ्रिक्शन. आई होप you are now capable to write what are the merits and demerits of friction. Isn't it? Move to the next question class, and next question is the last question, that is question number 10. Explain why objects moving in fluids must have special shapes. Yes. When a body moves through a fluid, it experiences an opposing force which tries to oppose its motion through the fluid. That I already had explained you in the video. This opposing force is known as the drag force. समझ में आ रहा है? This frictional force depends on the shape of the body. Yes, again a very important line, class 8th. This line is very important. Okay, so students, by giving object a special shape, the force of friction acting on it can be minimized. Hence, it becomes easier for the body to move through the fluid, or that's why the spatial or the specific shapes are given to the objects. Students, with this question, this chapter completes here, and you have to write all the question answers in your science register or notebook and learn them. Fine. And very soon we will meet in the video of the next chapter. Till then, take care everybody, and thank you.